Tottenham Hotspur boss Ange has come out and said that nothing magical will happen in the January transfer window at Spurs, but reports are stating that Spurs want deals done early in January. Todibo is top of the list, and Drăgușin, Spurs are about to put a bid in for him. Lloris is set to sign for Los Angeles. Postecoglou on the game on Sunday against Bournemouth, and Papamatta Sarr has just been called up by the Senegal squad for the Africa Cup of Nations.
Chris Cowlin. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs women. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Now, let's start by talking about former Tottenham Hotspur captain and goalkeeper Hugo Lloris. Now, Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano gave us a here we go on Friday. Fabrizio Romano has stated that Hugo Lloris has now signed for Los Angeles. The contract will run until 2025, but there will be options for him to extend that deal in the USA. Spurs farewell will take place on Sunday, the 31st of December. At the game Spurs v Bournemouth at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hugo Lloris will wait for the visa, then he will travel to USA. It is a permanent deal, not a loan. Now, another major update from Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano on Friday. He has stated that Tottenham want to sign a new centre-back and they want the deal sealed next week. Spurs want to get deals done early in the January transfer window. Fabrizio Romano has stated that Jean-Clair Todibo talks on, but if this deal cannot be done soon, Spurs have another plan. Spurs have now opened talks with Italian club Genoa for Radu Drăgușin, and a bid could be sent soon. Postecoglou has also approved Drăgușin. Now, of course, Spurs face Bournemouth on Sunday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 2 p.m. kickoff. Ange Postecoglou, ahead of the game, has come out and said every game is tough. We played Everton. They were on a great run as well. Brighton weren't, but that doesn't matter. Every game is a challenge. It is a short turnaround for us. Hopefully, we might get Oliver Skip back. Probably the only fresh legs we'll have to contribute to what we are doing. But it's a good challenge for us. We're at home, and whilst we've had a couple of losses at home, every home game we've been well in them, and we'll have to be at our best to match Bournemouth on Sunday. Postecoglou also added, obviously Bournemouth are in good form right now. They do play good football as well. They play football in terms of what they want to play and get the ball down. It will be a good challenge for us. It was announced on Friday that Papamatta Sarr has just been called up by Senegal for the defence of their Africa Cup of Nations title next month. The midfielder was in the squad that clinched the trophy for the first time with a 4-2 victory on penalties against Egypt in the last edition back in February 2022, and is a part of the holders' 27-man roster for the 34th edition in Ivory Coast, which runs from the 13th of January until the 11th of Feb 2024. The 2023 AFCON, officially named as such even though the finals are being held in 2024, sees Senegal in Group C alongside Cameroon, Gambia and Guinea, with the 2 top teams and the 4 best-ranked third-place teams advancing to the knockout stages. On Friday, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club announced some academy fixture changes. They have stated, we are pleased to announce that we have reached an agreement with Enfield Town Football Club to host 2 of our under-21s upcoming Premier League group stage fixtures at their Queen Elizabeth II stadium. Our home match against Bristol City under-21s will now take place there on Saturday the 6th of January, kick-off 1 p.m, while the venue will also stage our home game against Peterborough United under-21s on Saturday the 3rd of Feb, kick-off also 1 p.m. Tickets for the Bristol City match are now available on the Enfield Town ticketing website, so do visit that if you'd like to go and see the under-21s. In other fixture news, our under-21s home Premier League 2 match against Manchester United, postponed at the start of December, has now been rescheduled for Saturday the 20th of April, kick-off 12 noon at Hotspur Way. And also our under-18 Premier League trip to Southampton, initially scheduled for Saturday the 6th of Jan, has now been moved to Saturday the 3rd of Feb, kick-off 11:30 a.m. at Staplewood. Now, the January transfer window opens in just a couple of days' time. Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou in his latest press conference come out and said, we are where we are, the transfer window, nothing magical is going to happen in the January transfer window. What we need to do is just to keep building. We've had one window with this team to change it around, to do things differently. The fact that we are in the position we are is a credit to these players. For the challenges that we have had, we just keep ploughing forward, and that is what we will do. We will see what we can do in January, but ultimately it is about building a side that will get us to where we want to be. Now, my thoughts on all of these stories in today's episode. Of course, the January transfer window is just around the corner. It opens in just a couple of days' time. There is going to be lots of speculation. There are going to be lots of rumours, lots of reports, and I will be covering it all as normal during these transfer windows. It is going to be manic. There is going to be a lot of videos published and a lot of audio clips as well. I know some people absolutely love it. I know that some people absolutely hate it. So let's start by talking about Spurs wanting to get deals done early. It is music to the ears of Ange Postecoglou and all of us Spurs fans, because of course we have gone through so many transfer windows and we've either done deals extremely late or we've done no deals at all. And as we all know, we are literally down to the bare bones of this squad. The Bournemouth starting 11 is going to be interesting. On Sunday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Kulusevski is, of course, suspended. We've got all of these players missing, players suspended as well. We need players through the door and fast. Ange Postecoglou has said this in a couple of his most recent press conferences. We need to get deals done early. Don't waste a month. A month is a very long time. Get the deals done early. Integrate these players into the squad. It's going to take a little bit of time. Ange has even said it himself. Players coming in through the door, he's got to then give the message of what he expects and demands from these players, how he wants them to play, etc. And the sooner you get them in the door, the better. Now, Todibo is apparently top of Tottenham's list of centre-back targets. Drăgușin is second, and if Spurs can't get a deal done for Todibo in the very near future, then they will go for Drăgușin. Spurs want to get deals done early, and as I say, this is music to our ears because we need players in and fast. Of course, we're going to be without Heung-min Son, we're going to be without Papa Matasar, we're going to be without Basuma. Of course, there are so many injuries to key players as well. Romero, Van de Ven, Maddison. Hopefully we'll get Maddison and Van de Ven back sometime in January. But there are a lot of players missing. And the sooner we get players through the door, the better. I've seen many reports from the Daily Telegraph in the last 24 hours. And they have stated, about Spurs getting players in. It could depend on Spurs offloading some players first. I would find that very, very hard to believe because, Spurs need to get players through the door, whether players are leaving or not. But that brings me nicely on to talk about Hugo Lloris leaving. I am so glad I actually tweeted out or put on X, as it is now known, best of luck to Hugo Lloris. He's been a great servant to the football club. I remember, I've got some fantastic memories of Hugo Lloris making some fantastic saves. Unbelievable, splendid saves in the Champions League, in the Premier League. I've got some great memories of him. It's just sad that another player is leaving the football club having not won a trophy at Tottenham. But I did actually say I would like to see him get the farewell that he really deserves from the fans, because some of these players, when they leave during some transfer windows, especially the summer transfer windows, the fans don't actually get the chance to say goodbye to them unless they go to a Premier League club and then they come back. Then, of course, they get the applause that they deserve. But Hugo Lloris going off to America, it has now been stated by Fabrizio Romano that the farewell will take place on Sunday against Bournemouth. So I would imagine he certainly won't play for Spurs because he's now signed the deal with Los Angeles, yet to be confirmed by Tottenham Hotspur. But if you look on X, Los Angeles Football Club have actually put out a GIF already, basically welcoming Hugo Lloris by saying international delivery. Do check that out. But I do think it's a really nice thing to do that he will come out either before the game or at half time. So he will get the applause that he deserves as our former captain and as our goalkeeper, who has been a great servant since 2012 when he signed for the football club. Now, Ange Postecoglou's comments, nothing magical is going to happen in the January transfer window. I think a lot of people have read into that nothing is going to happen in the January transfer window. I don't take that like that at all. I think that by him saying nothing magical is going to happen, he probably means that don't expect world-class players, don't expect household names to come through the door, but do expect, and this is how I've taken it, I might be wrong, but I think I'm right, if it's a loan deal, if it's a free transfer, whatever the deals are, they've got to be players that Ange wants. They've got to be players that Ange feels that he's going to take this team or this squad forward, and he can use them in every way possible, to win football matches. Of course, we all love that playing style, but of course, football is a results business. You need to win football matches. Now, if I'm extremely happy as a Spurs fan. I know I was disappointed after losing 4-2 at Brighton, and it could have been worse, by the way, had it not been for the post or Vicario. But when you look at our league position, if I said to any Spurs fan or asked any Spurs fan at the start of the season, at the halfway point, we will be 6 points away from top spot and a point away from the league, champions, Manchester City, I think every single Spurs fan on the planet would have accepted that. We are in a really, really good position. And, I've said this many times on the Spurs Chat podcast that had we have not had all of these injuries and all of these issues week by week, because it does appear, since Ange Postecoglou has come in, he has had problems on a weekly basis. The amount of injuries, the amount of suspensions, and I think that Spurs would be sitting comfortably top of the Premier League without that. I know that every team and every squad has injuries in the Premier League, but it seems that Spurs have had a lot, much more than most other clubs would have during a season. But long may this entertaining style continue. But of course, I think we're in a great position right now. Pape Matar Sarr, of course, is now being called up by the Senegal squad. I'm sure that Senegal will go far in the competition, having won the competition last time. The likes of Heung-min Son, Basuma and Sarr, they could be gone. And we could have them missing for up to 6 games, including the FA Cup third round. And if we get through against Burnley, the FA Cup fourth round. And, it could be 4 Premier League games. So, if they are gone for that time, then hopefully, there won't be any injuries and all 3 of them do well in the competition and come back fully fit and available. And hopefully we'll have a couple of signings by then as well. And Postecoglou on the Bournemouth game. I tell you what, Bournemouth are in fantastic form. They are one of the in-form sides in the Premier League right now. Their last 7 Premier League games resulting in 6 wins and 1 draw. And 4 of those wins have actually come away from home. So they are one of the in-form sides. But, we are at home. Hopefully, as many people say, the crowd could be the 12th man and get us over the line. Let's try and get through some of these games. And then hopefully the likes of Van de Ven, Maddison, etc. will be back. And then we will start looking a lot stronger again. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.